I'm gonna say it because men can't. More often than not, women will argue with their emotions so that they're always right. Not all the time, but more often than not, women will argue with their feelings so that they're always right. Because no matter what, your feelings are valid. Period. That's the full sentence. But now, if we're having a conversation, I tell you, you weren't supposed to feel that way. Even if I didn't mean to make you feel that way, if I tell you that your feelings are dumb, now I'm gaslighting you. But the only person that can validate those feelings is you, and I have to accept how you feel. Period. But then if I try and introduce logic to the situation, then I'm missing the point. Okay? As a man, if you try and argue your feelings, then you're a bitch. Okay. So now there's no conversation to be had. It's just you made me feel this way, apologize, and let's get over it. But I didn't get to get off nothing about how I felt or how I feel about the situation or what I thought. And this is coming from a woman that processes her emotions and feelings in private and argues with logic and unbiased worldview opinions in public. So I'm just trying to figure out when do y'all accept or try and hear the other point of view? That's all I want to know. I'm just curious.
She was talking about relationships. But you know what? To me, it sounds a lot like the LeBron being the GOAT conversation. At some point, when emotions run high, logic goes low, and everything gets lost in the sauce. So, we're going to talk about LeBron and his achievement. But this isn't about LeBron. This is about impact. Impact. I stopped watching the NBA a long time ago. And I'll show you why. Because of the impact negatively that it had. But I keep up with the clips. Before we talk impact, let's talk about the origin of where this came from. I want to show you guys a, a post that I saw that kind of inspired this show. I'm going to let y'all read it for a minute. Then I'll come back. We'll start properly. Impact versus milestones. LeBron reached a milestone yesterday. That was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Legacy milestone. Longevity milestone. Milestone nonetheless. Phenomenal. But wasn't impactful. The most impactful time in culture was between 1970 and the year 2000. Not the beginning of culture, just the most impactful. Rock and roll, P-funk, grunge rock, rap, hip hop, the change in R&B, going from cheating songs like Me and Mrs. Jones to cheating songs like Trey songs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, More things change, more things stay the same sometimes. But everything since then has been a loop of 1980s and 1990s. They put a little techno twist on it, but the content hasn't changed, just the players. Did they build upon the 80s? Maybe. But I think they're inflated. The poll said that Black Panther was the number two highest grossing movie. Not true. It was true at the time, but then they adjusted for the marketing budget and went down to like number 12. I want to show you Impact versus Milestone. Let's check this out. This is a list of the highest grossing movies in history. Number one is Avatar with $2.9 billion. That's a lot of money, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's crazy. Avengers Endgame is number two. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens is number 5. Those are based on ticket prices, better distribution globally. They opened up China as a market since then. Tickets went from $5 to $12. But these are still the highest grossing movies ever. Just 1 through 10. Avatar, Avengers Endgame, Titanic, Avatar Way of the Water, Star Wars Episode 7, which wasn't that good, Avengers Infinity War, which was better than Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, which wasn't as good as the first one, Jurassic World, Lion King, and The Avengers are the top 10. Now let's adjust for inflation, right? All of a sudden, if you adjust for inflation, the biggest movie by a landslide is Gone with the Wind. You know what I mean? A movie that came out in 1940, 1939. If you adjust for inflation, less theaters. I would say greater impact. Star Wars Episode 5. I'm sorry, Episode 4, New Hope. Number 2. Didn't even make the top 20 of highest grossing if you go by numbers. Let's see, where is Star Wars Episode 2 on here? Let's see, episode. We have to go down, down, down. We already in the 50s. We still haven't seen Star Wars Episode 2. We see Episode 1 at 45. I'm sorry, Episode 4. We see number 45. We don't see it. But right here, adjusted. A New Hope is right there, number 2. Adjusted for inflation, right? E.T. number 4. I remember E.T. as a kid. I was a small child, but I remember that. Titanic number 5. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at number 10. Episode 7, The Force Awakens makes number 11. On this list, it's number... It's up there. It's up there. What's number 5 on both lists? Shout out to that. Shout out to that, man. They made money in both eras. Shout out to that. No Black Panther. No Infinity War. Avatar is 15. It went from number 1 in gross to adjusted gross, number 15. I say all that to say that if I looked at the adjusted for income, adjusted for inflation list, I could make the argument that most of these movies are some of the most impactful, culture changing movies ever created. Gone with the Wind, Star Wars, Sound of Music, E.T., Titanic, Jaws, The Exorcist. These are some of the most impactful movies ever created. Even though, as a milestone, they aren't top 10, but they're top 10 in impact. LeBron James is great, but I want to show you that just because he reached a milestone, did it have an impact? Does it have impact? Like and sub as y'all come in, man. We trying to get this to a thousand subs, man. You know they kicked the boy off YouTube, man, because YouTube sucks. Apparently, if you see an obese lesbian and you call her a big burly bareback butch bitch, they call it hate speech and they kick you off the platform. Fucking YouTube. So man, make sure y'all like and sub as you come in, man. If it's in your heart, pay your dick fees. I want to show you guys in the NBA impact, a moment of impact. I want to set this up. 1996 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan wins his fourth chip, first chip since his father died. The Bulls won the championship on Father's Day. There's a lot of things that's happening right here. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. There's two stories within the story in this clip. Let's check it out. So, Kukoc gets the ball. He's just running out the clock. They're about to win. Let me pause right here. You can't tell. That's Dennis Rodman. That's Kukoc. This is Randy Brown. This is old footage. I don't know why it doesn't get any clearer. I checked a lot of different videos. It's all grainy. I don't know why. 1996, I guess. This is Randy Brown. Randy Brown is from Chicago. He's from Chicago. As a matter of fact, back in the day, Randy Brown has the dubious distinction of having the ass ugliest luxury car I ever saw in my life, right? The people have moved since then, so I can tell you where they stayed. Randy Brown's baby mama stayed on 71st and Damon. I ran into him one day. I was like, oh shit, that's Randy Brown. He had a 5 Series Benz with Ferrari doors and 20-inch hammers. I was like, what the fuck? This nigga gutted out a Benz and put Ferrari doors on a Benz and then put hammers on it. How do you take some luxury and just make it as hood as possible? But either way, man, shout out to Randy Brown, man. So, Randy Brown is from Chicago, playing for Chicago, and he promised his dad the game ball. That's the story within the story. As you see, Randy Brown is approaching Tony Kukoc for the ball. So that's the story within the story. Right there, right before Randy Brown could get the ball from Kukoc, Jordan comes from nowhere, my nigga, and snatch that bitch like left hand, give it up. Look, Mike did not have the ball. Tony Kukoc had the ball right before Randy Brown could grab it. Michael Jordan, who's all the way over here, ran and snatched the ball before Randy could get it. Watch. People think this is a championship thing. Randy Brown and Michael Jordan are actually wrestling for the ball. This ball means as much to Randy Brown as it does to Michael Jordan. They're tussling for the ball. This is not a game celebration. This is two men wrestling for the basketball because they need that ball. Right there. You see how Mike snatched it? That is a hard WWE wrestling move. You see the elbow? He snatched that ball from Randy. And people had to pull Randy up off Mike to give Mike his moment. And Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, so he'll always be the champion of the story. But you got to understand, Randy Brown needed that ball, man. That is the story within the story. The childhood kid that nobody counted on, that made good and won a chip in his city, and he needs that ball to get to his dad. Michael Jordan needs that ball as well to commemorate his dad. Let's play it out from there. Don't trip on this music. Mike goes to the locker room. Don't even talk to the press. There's no post game interview. There's no nothing. There's no kissing his mom. There's no nothing. All emotions. Now check this out. The cameras are following Mike. Mike ain't got no words. When you see Mike again, he's crying, holding the bench, crying, wishing his dad was there. Let me explain something to you. This was a minute 9 seconds. Every second of this minute 9 seconds is impactful and iconic. Every part of this was iconic. Every part. If we start from the moment Randy Brown tried to get this ball and Michael Jordan snatched it, the jump, Randy wrestling for the ball, you see this in every clip. Every clip. You see Michael Jordan and Randy Brown wrestling, and then next thing you know, you see Michael Jordan in the locker room crying, holding that ball. He still won't let that ball go because he's scared Randy Brown gonna snatch that bitch back. That's impact. That moment, the whole thing, the whole minute is so impactful that you remember every moment. And they make sure you remember it because they've been playing this motherfucker for like 30 years. That's how impactful it is. Randy Brown is not even a player whose name you remember if he wasn't trying to take that ball from Michael Jordan. But the story within the story was also as impactful. Impact. How you feel. The memory you have that's etched in stone. The story behind the story that you know because the moment was so surreal that you were like, goddamn. Impact. That wasn't even a milestone. That was Michael Jordan's 4th championship. That wasn't his milestone. His milestone is 6 for 6. That was just part of his journey. But the impact of the moment. His dad being dead. Randy Brown needing that ball. Michael Jordan crying. Impact. Moments like that made the game bigger than life. Made it go global. Impact. It's very rare that the person that creates the impact gets the most money or the most sales or the most they get accolades. But it's very rare that they get the most monetary reward for it. Tupac died broke, but his impact changed the trajectory of rap. Impact. I want to show you a clip of the second to last basketball game I ever watched, NBA. And the only reason it's the second to last is because I ended up at a fish fry a few years ago, and they played the Nets versus Bucks game when Kevin Durant's foot was on the line. And that's the only reason I watched that, because after I saw this game, 21 years later, 1996, Michael Jordan cried, Randy Brown sighed, iconic moment on Father's Day. Mike crying because his dad's not there. Fast forward to 2017, 21 years later. There are players on the court that weren't born until after that moment. 21 years later. The Golden State Warriors won the chip. On Father's Day, 2017, 21 days to the day after Michael Jordan. I remember watching the second to last basketball game I ever watched for the NBA. I watch clips, I watch highlights, but I don't watch a game. I won't give ESPN or ABC or WGN any of those fucking coveted commercial dollars. They will not get my Nielsen rating. Not never again. Because of what they did 2017 Father's Day. Closeout game. Golden State versus Cavaliers in Golden State. Energy Electric Father's Day. I'm watching this game. Steph Curry's dad, Dale, is in the crowd. Andre Iguodala's dad is in the crowd. Michael Thompson, the father of Klay Thompson, is in the crowd. Fathers everywhere on Father's Day. The entire production was about single mothers. Doesn't Dale's mom look beautiful? Look at KD's mom. There go Draymond Green, mama. She the loudest cheerleader. I'm looking like, yo, they all right next to the dad. Not even a happy Father's Day. On Father's Day. With the dad's present. I said, how disrespectful is this bullshit right here, man? Like, how much can you disrespect somebody? And I knew right then I couldn't fuck with Adam Silver, man. So I couldn't fuck with the NBA, and I won't watch it until he's fired.
Hey, y'all! Masters are coming! He's a coming, y'all! Masters are coming! Here we come!
Look, guys, you asked me to take.
And then this happened.
His night was about to get even sweeter.
Your finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
We did it. I told you when I was 8 years old, we did it.
His mother, a single mom raising two sons, working several jobs to make.
They made this all about Durant's single mom. And even worse than that, the clips ain't even showing, is how she sunned him. She sunned that nigga on national TV, rubbing his head and shit like we did. She took out the mic. He's supposed to be the MVP of the finals. He's supposed to be saying it, you know what I'm saying, thank the team. She snatched the mic. She rocking out like she got MMA and Flavor Flav, you know what I'm saying, as the goddamn co-sign for Chuck D. And I was like, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. And then instead of the media saying, yo, this bitch don't know her place, they gave her a showcase. They brought her on the news. They took her on all of the daytime talk shows to talk about how great she was being a single mother who got some nut that made a baby that's 7 feet tall. Because that's all the fuck she did. This lady about 5'6". She wasn't there when he was shooting in the gym. She wasn't there. When he was going to the park and AAU games, this mother wasn't there. She wasn't there. She ain't helped that nigga with his jump shot, his free throws, his handles, nothing. She wasn't even responsible for his height. She wasn't responsible for shit. But she get the credit for just having him. And then sunning that nigga on global TV. Because the whole world watched the NBA finals. She get credit for fucking. That's some bullshit, bro. And I knew at that moment, I said, man, the NBA is a single mama league. It's men playing, but it's a single mama league. And I can't buy a jersey. I can't give them no attention. I can't support it until Adam Silver ass is up out of there. It's too fucking liberal for me. Fuck, you gonna worship a single mother on Father's Day and the fucking fathers are get the fuck out of here, man. They crazy as shit, bro. We're gonna take a quick break for a word from our sponsor. In the month of February, 15% off all Notion organic products. You know what I'm saying? This top line, premium, natural, and organic. Some of the best soap and deodorant I've ever used in my life. That's why I'm putting my name on the line for it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take this quick break. We're going to come right back. And we're going to talk about LeBron's impact versus Milestone.
Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. No soap. No soap. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. No soap. No soap. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. No soap. No soap. Dirty folks. Dirty folks.
You see, I fucked him up. I got this nigga shot. You know something.
Dirty folks. No soap. No soap.
Hey, everybody. I is back. I'm glad y'all here too. Let's get to LeBron. Phenomenal moment. Let's share it together.
Looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Okay, you know what? This is a funny thing. So they stopped the game with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And LA lost because, you know, why not, right? So OKC at that. OKC got a number of young players. But, you know, the Lakers full of veterans and all-stars and first-time ballot Hall of Famers. They lost to some kids in Oklahoma. But, all right, whatever. They stopped the game with 10 seconds left in the third quarter to celebrate LeBron. And I was wondering that there was precedent for this because I thought it was like I didn't think it was impactful enough to stop the game. And I did a little studying, and apparently they do this for all the players. So let's play this out a little bit. One of the reasons this wasn't impactful for me because it seemed like he had to make the moment. You say he's waving people to him, and I'm not a LeBron hater. I think he's a phenomenal player, but it's like he's trying to create an impactful moment when it's just a milestone. It's a phenomenal milestone. It's a phenomenal milestone, but it's not a moment. Like had he had this moment in Cleveland, it might have been more impactful. But it's. Yeah. But you see how he's waving people over? And why Kareem always look lost? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has looked lost since 1979 when they drafted Magic Johnson, bro. Every time you see Kareem, he like, yo, I'm just here, B. Every time you see one of the most important people in NBA history, he always look like, yo, where am I? Like,
An embrace from his mother, Gloria. His daughter Zuri coming in. The boys, Bryce and Bronny. Savannah, his wife.
Sidebar. I thought this was a white woman because Savannah's hair looking real white girlish. I was just sitting there the whole time like, where's his wife? Apparently that's his wife. She's gorgeous, but I thought it was a white woman though. I swear to God I did. Okay, I also want y'all to see these, I guess those the bronze. You know what I'm saying? Got some lavender shoes on. It don't match the uniform. I remember when you start talking about impact. Michael Jordan's shoes got banned from the NBA because they didn't match the jerseys. Like the whole team had to wear uniform gym shoes or they would get fined. And Nike paid a fine for every game that Michael Jordan wore the Jordan 1s. That's impact. You know what I'm saying? Now LeBron and Kevin Durant, they just be doing anything, bro. Kevin Durant be like, KD's shoe game is like the loudest. And I also thought it was amusing, and I'll show you why I'm showcasing the shoes. I'll show you in a minute. But let's continue.
Was once thought as an unbreakable record has just been broken by 38-year-old LeBron James.
On a step back against very good defense here by Kenrich Williams.
Wait a minute. Did they say very good defense here? He didn't even raise his hand. That's very good defense. All right, never mind. It's not my story.
By Kenrich Williams, made him earn it.
Milestone. It didn't change. It didn't change the impact of the game. It didn't change his legacy. His legacy is already etched. It didn't change how people perceive the game globally. It gave stat geeks a way to say that, LeBron better than the best player ever. Like, oh, LeBron's the greatest. But it didn't, there was no impact to it. It was a milestone. It's a phenomenal milestone. I gotta give him credit. It may last another 30 years, but there was no impact behind it. Even to the extent of when Kareem won the scoring record, they pulled out the old grandfather chair and all that. And it was a ceremony. But by then, Magic was already the best player on that team. Wilt was impact. When Wilt Chamberlain did it, in the 1960s, that was impact. He was scoring 100 points a game. He had a season. He was 50 or 20. Like, his was impactful. His really dictated whether they won or lost. These are longevity stats. Kareem, 20 years in the game. Kobe, 20 years in the game. LeBron, 20 years in the game. If you average 20 for 20 years, that's the secret to having a scoring title. I thought it was weird that that they stopped the game for it. And then I look back and I saw they stopped the game for Kobe when Kobe passed Mike. And Kobe wasn't even an all-time scorer. He just passed Mike. And ironically enough, it felt more impactful. It was like the passing of the torch. This was a milestone achievement. I want to show you the difference between milestone and impact. 1 year ago, last season, this happened.
Guarding him from the start, Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
Sidebar. Steph Curry mom is hot too, though. I ain't gonna front, bro. She bad too. Savannah James is bad. Steph Curry mom is bad. Shout out to gorgeous women with blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue because I want to show you the impact. I want to show you how happy, genuinely happy everybody is for Steph, and the impact that Steph had on the game. Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna play this out. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna play this out. Let me say something. When Michael Jordan retired the first time in '93, His impact was strong. His legend became his legend after, the second three-peat. But his impact was so strong that they were looking for the next Michael Jordan. Harold Miner was Baby Jordan. They was looking for Grant Hill to be the new face of the league. They were looking for another Mike to carry the league. Impact. Michael Jordan, impact. I can pay homage to Allen Iverson with the crossover and the heart bigger than a lion. He had impact. He impacted the dress code, impacted the rule changes, impacted fashion. He impacted a lot, positively and negatively. Kobe was iconic. Not sure he was as impactful because he was Mike 2.0, right? Or 1.5, because I don't think he was as good. He was very talented, though, but not the same amount of impact. Great player, though. Steph Curry. Steph Curry has impact. There are little kids who don't even do layup lines now. They start their warm-ups doing three-pointers because of Steph Curry. Steph Curry changed the game. That is impact. He changed the culture of the game. So when Steph Curry hit his milestone, it just hit different. And you'll look at the celebration and you'll realize how much different it hit with his teammates, with the fans. He was in New York. LA won the record. LeBron won the record in LA, and he plays in LA, and people are like, that's cool. Steph is in New York.
From the start, Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry, the all-time three-point king in the NBA. Three-pointer, number 2974. The man who changed the game. The igniter of the three-point revolution in the NBA. And now he stands alone at the top of the three-point list.
And you think about this, the way he changed the game, it's almost like how Babe Ruth changed baseball with
Are you hearing the commentators? The way he changed the game is it felt like how Babe Ruth changed baseball. That is impact. When people say they changed the game and the reward of changing the game is this, it just hits different. This is impact versus milestone. He created a milestone. He's still growing on this milestone the same way LeBron is still adding points to the scoring total. But the impact is so strong. He brought his parents back together. They ain't standing next to each other no more because they both wife swapped. But yo, it's bananas.
ball. He has changed the game with the three-point ball. How all 30 teams approach the game is because of number.
Watch this.
30.
Watch this. This is also impact. This is what the 2017 championship should have been. Steve Kerr, who was a pretty good three-point shooter himself in his day, he retrieved the ball that Steph Curry hit the record-setting three with. He retrieved the ball when Steph was hugging genuine love. Steph was hugging his teammates and his coach. This is real. This ain't no, oh, y'all got to come to me. This is real. When he handed the ball, watch this. He handed him the ball like, this is yours, young man. Watch what Steph does.
30. And this is an absolute awesome experience to be able to witness, to see Ray Allen and now Stephen Curry.
Steph takes the ball, immediately walks his dad, gives his dad the ball like, Pops, this is for you. That's, oh my God. That's what this is the moment that Randy Brown got cheated out of because Michael Jordan stole the ball. This is the moment that Randy Brown got cheated out of. This is what sports is about. The father-son connection. A man watching another man replace him, because life is about replacement. Legacy, impact. Even a moment was impactful.
Emotional hug here with his father, Dale Curry.
Saw Dell, saw his mother Sonia, Bob McKillop.
Impact. Let's show you one more thing before I get up out of here. Show y'all one more thing before I get out of here. While I pull up this last thing, Train Your Toddlers. Also sponsored by Tyler Rossi. Train Your Toddlers. I'm about to show y'all something before I get up out of here.
Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about impact. But it's very important. Remember this, guys? We just looked at it. There's LeBron being LeBron. Remember I told you, look at LeBron's shoes. LeBron got on the pink bronze, right? He on the pink bronze, right? At the same game, while LeBron was creating his milestone, his kids was rocking the Jordan 4s, baby. Both of them was rocking the Jordan 4s. You know what I'm saying? Custom. Black on blacks and the fuchsia on blacks. Both of them rocking the mics. That's impact. That is impact. You know what I'm saying? As a flip side, I remember when Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's second son, was going to college. He ended up going to Florida Central or something like that. And when he went there, the school had an Adidas contract. And Marcus said, man, I don't play in Adidas. I only play in my daddy's shoes. They lost the Adidas sponsorship and was like, yo, is your dad going to sponsor the team? And Mike was like, yo, I only sponsor winners, man. That's a bum-ass team. I love my son, but that's a bum-ass team. And they ended up a year without a sponsor for Marcus to play on a basketball scholarship for Florida Central or whatever school it was, because he wouldn't wear nothing but his father's shoes. Now, LeBron, on this big day, his kids get shoes for free and they won't wear the motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? For free, they won't wear the motherfuckers. To their daddy inaugural game. That's impact. Anyway, I appreciate y'all struggling with me through my first Rumble. I'll get better, I promise. As always, man, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up.
The daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Stay away from cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player. Or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause I swear she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Why did Daddy say so?
Because we were talking about every night. I wanted some boyfriends, so I'm moving out.
Because Daddy told you you can't have a boyfriend in his house? So you're moving out?
Yes.